What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys one of my own fragrances. As promised, we're going through all of them. This one is Uomo by Vitabella Perfumes, by my fragrance brand that I started. This fragrance was released this year, obviously. I don't know if you guys saw my announcement video, but I announced my fragrance brand, Vitabella Perfumes, and it scores right now, so far, a 5.0 out of 5 on Fragrantica. Granted, there's not a whole lot of reviews on there yet, but everybody who's bought one so far has been really happy with it. So this is the Uomo. This is my signature men's fragrance. So it's a cherry oud type fragrance. Obviously the perfumer is me, Sebastian Gilbanks. The notes of it, the top notes are cherry and black currant. Middle notes are cloves and jasmine. And then base notes are agarwood, oud, and musk and labdanum. Okay, so a resinous, kind of a musky, woody base under there with that oud, that kind of masculine oud. But I tried not to make it too, it's a more mass appealing oud. So it's not gonna be a real stinky fecal oud. It's gonna be kind of a more pleasant, mass appealing one. And then as far as the middle notes, yeah, it's gonna have some of the spices in there, but it's also gonna have a light floral jasmine to it. And then top notes, yeah, the cherry and the black currant are really gonna punch through, especially when you first hit it. So yeah, so this is kind of the signature men's fragrance. It's definitely more masculine leaning. Here's the container you're gonna get it in. Okay, as always, it's gonna have a magnetic cap, and presentation is gonna be pretty darn good. So this is the old label. The new label is gonna be slightly larger, and then it just says Uomo, Eau de Toilette, and Vitabella Perfumes, obviously, is the brand on here. So this is a 50 ml. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. There should be a subscriber discount. So if you use discount code subscriber, you'll get 15% off of your purchase of whatever you wanna buy on my website. So if you end up wanting to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description for you guys for my website. So yeah, so enough chit chat. Let's give it a spray and we'll talk about the smell itself, okay? So there we go, good atomizer. It's not pressurized, but it is very nice. So very happy with the atomizers on these bad boys. All right, and we can smell it from here. So what immediately will hit you, that nice, bright, juicy cherry, okay? I used cinnamic alcohol in it as well, so it adds kind of a little bit of a spiciness to it, or a little bit more juiciness to that cherry, and a lot of fructone. So the fructone and the fructolate end up making it a very nice, realistic, juicy cherry. And then since I used a mask on beta, you definitely get a little bit of that black currant note in the top. So it's very fruity, but there's that undertone of the woodiness already there, that cedar wood and the oud really punching through. So as far as projection, I would say this is probably moderate, on the stronger side of moderate. I said it's an eau de toilette, but technically I used eau de parfum concentration in this. But I would rather over deliver than under deliver. So I didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm calling it an eau de parfum, and you guys are like, well, hold on, this feels like sort of a weaker side of the eau de parfum. So this will perform more like an eau de parfum, but yeah, it's technically, I'd call it eau de toilette. Oh man, such a great fragrance. So yeah, this is, it's very masculine leaning, even though it has that fruitiness to it. People think, oh, fruity, it has to be, that's got to be more unisex. But no, think about Creed Aventus, it's a pineapple fragrance, but it's definitely very masculine. So I was able to really spin it towards that masculine vibe. Underneath it, you're already getting a little bit of that oud, a little bit of that interesting kind of mysteriousness of it. And you do get the cloves, that eugenol in there. There's definitely a good amount of eugenol in there. So there's some spiciness, some woodiness to it. Not too sharp with the spiciness. I think I did a really good job of blending it, if I do say so myself. As far as how long it lasts, I would say this is moderately long lasting. So it's not super long lasting. I don't want to hype it up and say something that's not true. I'll say this is probably around on par with most of the designer fragrances of today. So about average. Man, love this fragrance. So yeah, so this is one of the best sellers right now on my website. And you know, I mean, it makes sense. This is the one I wanted to put my best foot forward when it comes to having the signature, the Uomo, which just means man in Italian. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it's probably a 9.5 out of 10 fragrance. Of course, I'm obviously biased because I literally made it. But yeah, I mean, I've made hundreds of fragrances and I chose the 4 best of all of them instead of just, okay, I've got a job to do. I'm gonna make a fragrance and then just send it to the company right now. So this is the best out of hundreds of fragrances. So yeah, I mean, if you like cherry and you like oud, or you wanted an oud fragrance that just goes a different route, this is kind of where I was going with it. I've never really seen the oud and cherry combination done together. So I wanted to have something that would be an addition to your collection where it's like, I don't really have anything like that. And as far as when you can wear this one, I wanted to make sure that it was pretty darn versatile, because I feel like some of those oud fragrances, they're not super versatile. So you could pull this off in spring, you could pull this off in winter and fall. I wouldn't wear it in the summer probably, unless it's kind of, you live in like a cooler climate where it's a little bit more, you know, reasonable. But this is like the only office safe, like, you know, mass appealing, like still niche though. I mean, this is like the only office safe oud fragrance that I'm familiar with. It's a, you know, very versatile and everything. I tried to make like the super oud, you know, like a super performer as far as oud and cherry goes. So if you like, you know, Electric Cherry or Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, but you wanted something a little bit with a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more of a niche feel, then I would go for this one. You definitely get the labdanum. I use real labdanum absolute in this. So yeah, you definitely get that resinous, you know, kind of sweetness, almost leatheriness of the labdanum in there. I can't recommend it enough, guys. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm biased because it's my fragrance brand, but I would give it a check out. So the way I would recommend doing it though is I would probably just go for the sample kit. That way it sends you, you buy it, and it's like $5 more than the other ones, but just use the discount, and you'll get a sample of all 4 of the fragrances. And that way you can choose which one is your favorite one, and you'll get an email, it'll redeem, you can get a code that you'll redeem for a free bottle of whichever one you like the best. So that way you get a full-size bottle of which one you liked. So I would go that route. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. As promised, I'll do a video on the last one. I know it's taken me a little bit of time, you know, I've been doing all this other stuff, but I'll release a video doing a review of the last fragrance of my brand in just a little bit, okay? All right, thanks for watching. See y'all on the next one.